Testing audio 1, 2, 3. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. Forgot I was not on mute. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit. A little dark over here. Welcome everybody. Going to work on the shop a little bit today. What I'm wanting to do is behind me here, I have a cabinet that I built, but I need to put some drawers in it. So I'm going to be working on some drawer boxes today. Pretty low key, nothing too interesting, but figured I would stream, get some practice in. So let me clean up a little bit here. Move all this out of the way. It's a little bit cold out in the garage today. We actually getting some snow, so got a pretty insulated garage, but it gets a little bit chilly. Thanks, Amberella. Hey, Casino, thanks. How are you doing? So hopefully everybody can hear me all right. I did some audio filters and stuff to hopefully cut out some of the shop tool noise. Had a problem with stream the other day of some of the filters being out of order, and I was getting no audio on stream. And so hopefully that's all corrected now. So, but yes, Amberella is my wife, and she definitely agrees with my shirt. Probably the one thing we do agree on. So, all right, I am making drawer boxes today. Again, for cabinet back here that I built. I built all of these shop cabinets back here, and one of the last things I need to do is build some drawers here. I'm going to put some 4 drawers in here, and so that's what I'm working on today is some of the boxes. So I got started the other day, and I'm just going to pick up where I left off. Hey, Lone Mountain, how are you doing? How is everybody today? Staying warm, I hope. It's a little cool here. I did change the angle on my table saw the other day. I was cutting some 45, so I'm just gonna zero it out. Make sure it's back to 90. So give me a second while I do that. Which is fancy? The shirt, the shop, or the oh. Yeah, I did that because it's hard for me to pay attention to chat sometimes and stuff. So maybe I need to turn that off. Maybe that's not a good thing, but yeah, it does call out the lurkers a little bit. Since I'm new to all this streaming, I was just adding a couple of things that could help me out. I could definitely see where people want to lurk. Let's see here. Probably need to take that all the way out. Yeah, especially being a new streamer, man, it's hard for me to keep up on everything that's going on. I mentioned in somebody's stream yesterday, my primary focus is just not cutting off any fingers, starting with or ending with the same amount of fingers that I started with. Beyond that, I'm trying to make sure I measure twice, cut once, get all that done stuff. And sometimes paying attention to the stream, especially when it's across the room, the computer's across the room a little bit, gets a little bit difficult, but it's all with practice. So that's kind of why I'm streaming some more, is just getting practice in. Yeah, I was playing around with TTS, but man, it got too distracting. If multiple people are chatting at once, or if a whole bunch of people are chatting at once, it just gets overloaded. So I'm not going to do TTS, at least on the stream. I do have Alexa smart glasses, and so it's possible I could set something up and she reads them into my ear or something, but I don't want to play it across stream. Yeah, I agree. All right, so I did cut a couple panels already. I cut them last week, so I'm going to finish up cutting a couple more panels. I laid out all my drawer box needs into cut list optimizer and got a layout, so I'm just kind of rough cutting the pieces down and then getting them down to their final width and length. So I'm going to continue on with that. We'll also see if some of my audio filters cut out the tool noise. Where did my pencil go? All right. All right, good point. I appreciate everybody's comments in the community. It's been quite a bit of help here lately. I didn't even know about the audio filters at first, so that was a huge help. Because I would be muting myself through my headset so that you guys don't hear all the noise, but then I'd forget to unmute. That's kind of a common problem. Oh yeah, now I remember why I stopped on the door boxes. So I was cutting some, quit for the night, and then I came out to finish up door boxes the next day, and I had a faulty SawStop activation, the brake activated, The blade never actually went into the brake though. You see a couple scratches there, but that's just from me rotating the blade to see if it was up against the brake, which it was. So I had to swap that out. Yeah, my tiny human is getting ready to go to a birthday party today, so mom's going to be taking her over there. How old is your tiny human? Right. I measured twice, cut once because this didn't look quite right, but guess it is. Yeah. And since I need 2 of these panels, I will just set up my stop block appropriately. Now, the one noise that my stream doesn't seem to filter out right now, I'll probably have to set up an EQ and filter it out that way, but is the dust collector. It seems to cancel out the SawStop and some of the other tools, but it doesn't seem to cancel out the dust collector. It's at a higher frequency or something, or too loud, not quite sure. So I apologize. You might hear a little bit of the dust collector for a bit, but just making a couple quick cuts and then it should be done. Alexa, turn on dust collector. What the hell? Echo, turn off dust collector. Alexa, turn off dust collector. I have to look into my SawStop here. It was binding. Let me turn it off. It was acting like something was caught in there. It was super strange. Try this again. Alexa, turn on dust collector. And it seems like my SawStop is not wanting to start up when the dust collector's on right now. I'm going to try it without the dust collector on. Seems like it's struggling to get started up. It could be because it's cold in here. Make sure we're off. Everything's clean in there. And I have been using it after I replace brake cartridge. Everything looks good there. Now I'm getting flashing lights. All right. We'll try it with the dust collector off this time. Maybe it's trying to pull too much energy. Maybe it's cold. Just hasn't started up. I'll give it one more shot. All right, we'll make a couple quick cuts here. That was very strange. Was having problems kind of wanting to fire up there and stay started. It would start spinning, but it would struggle. So I don't know if it's cold or what. Haven't seen that happen with my SawStop. Wasn't getting any warning lights or anything. Hey Boyd, how you doing? Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate it. I'm working on drawer boxes today, kind of having a stumbling with my SawStop one to start up. But back behind me over here, I've got cabinets that I built. I built all these cabinets here, but one of the last things I need to do is put some drawers in here, so I'm working on some drawer boxes. So I threw in all my drawer specs into Cut List Optimizer and just kind of cutting out the panels and getting them down to their final sizes. Yeah, it's good to be back out in the shop. So it's been cold here for a couple days and busy and whatnot. I did do a couple streams with my daughter last week, I think. We built dollhouse. But basically what my stream is about is new to woodworking. My wife was very gracious enough to let me claim the 3-car garage as a workshop. So this is about me learning new things, building up my shop, building up tools, and then occasionally I do streams with my daughter, teach her how to use power tools and stuff. So if you look at a couple of the VODs, I think they're still up there. I'm not sure how long they stay up there since I'm not affiliate yet, but got a couple of streams with her assembling a large dollhouse. I have the 1.75 horsepower, but I am going to upgrade to the 3 horsepower. Right now, I don't have 220 in my garage yet. But I plan on getting 220, and then I'm of course going to put my bandsaw and SawStop. You can actually upgrade those to 220. So yeah, it is 110. So that's probably why I'm struggling. It's a 1.75. It's cold. Hadn't had it on today. So all right. So now I got a couple of my panels cut. I'm going to rip them down if the SawStop wants to cooperate. I'm going to rip those down. So give me just a second here and clean up. All right. I have to look at my cut list. You're looking at getting the. Oh, was it you that you were looking at table saws and stuff, and then you were talking about the Laguna Fusion 2? I was looking at the Fusion 2, the Harvey, and then this, and I really like the Fusion 2. Yeah, it is really nice. It had a lot of nice features, you know, some on top dust collection. It's got the zero or the digital gauge for 90 and stuff. I liked a lot of that, but man, and I had heard about the back deflection on the fence, and I went to one of my tool stores, and they had one there, and I checked it out, and actually it was quite a bit of deflection. But other than that, it looks like a great saw, but there was deflection back there. I heard there's ways that you can mitigate it and whatnot, but I was also looking at Harvey and stuff. Harvey has a really nice compass gauge, you know, miter gauge that was on it, so I was looking at that. But then in my local area, somebody was selling this SawStop here. I'll move some of this out of the way, but I got a really good deal on this SawStop. It's not even from the motor. The motor said it was made in 2021. So it's not that old, but it is I can swing the camera around. It's a 52-inch SawStop with router table in the side. And then I also have outfeed table, foldable outfeed table and whatnot. And so I got a lot of stuff there. And it was asking just a little over 3,000. So if I compare all of that, it was used, but it's in great condition and whatnot. But once I compared all of that to the price of the Harvey and getting it shipped, or the Laguna, I think I would have been happy with the Laguna, but I just don't want to have buyer's remorse. I didn't want to, spend just 2,000, have it for a year, and it's like, man, I really wish I bought the SawStop. So I had, I had the opportunity, so I bought it, and I really like this glide fence here. So that kind of made the decision for me. All right, so now I'm going to rip some of these pieces down to their final width, which is going to be 4 inches. Yeah, it is a big investment. Luckily, I did have the money, and I felt like that. This is what I want to do for a while. Enjoy it. My wife has a lot of things she wants me to do, so I did decide to jump in and make the purchase. But yeah, I only wanted to make it once. Same with my bandsaw. I got a. You can't see it here. I could turn the camera around, but man, that part of the garage is pretty messy. But I got a Laguna 14BX bandsaw. That was another thing I figured might as well buy once. So. All right. Hopefully, Saw wants to stay started this time. See how it goes. Man, it's struggling right off the beginning. Just making some 4-inch cuts. My top couple of shelves are going to be 4 inches. And then the bottom one will be, I think, 12 inches. Hey, thanks, Lone Mountain. Appreciate that. All right, got part of my drawer sides built here. I have another 8-foot piece I need to cut down and get the rest of the drawer parts, but About half of them done now. Let's see here. It's amazing how I misplaced the tools I just got done using. I'm bad about that. I wasn't paying attention to OBS, but wasn't sure if it was cutting out some of the sound of the table saw or not. So if somebody wanted to let me know if the audio is okay during cutting that. All right. I'm contemplating which cuts I want to do next. It's like I just had it in my hand, but I found it. All right. Let's see here. So those cuts are 19.5. All right, I may adjust some stuff in my shop here. I'm gonna try to make a decent sized cut on my table saw. So I'm gonna have to move some of my streaming equipment around. Could cut it with my track saw, but I don't want to pull everything out for that. So let me see if I can get this set up so I don't want to call this sketchy, but what I'm wanting to do is I need to cut an 8-foot section of. Actually, I may have answered my own. May not be able to do this how I was wanting to cut this on the crosscut sled, but it is too wide. All right, change plans. Let me. Let's see, I could probably still do it on the table saw. I have enough support. All right, let's see. Instead of using the crosscut sled, I'll just use the length of my table that I have. I don't. Keep knocking everything over. All right. I have to make sure I have enough clearance to get the cut past all my streaming equipment. So I'm going to move my streaming equipment one more time. All right. Need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these cuts. It is struggling. Man. All right. Got the rest of my drawer backs. These are all my drawer bottoms. I'll just set them here. I'm going to move the streaming equipment back. So, let's see here. So the one, I think it was Bad Dad, that also has a SawStop this size, but that was one of the great things about having SawStop this long and wide. I think he referred to it as an aircraft carrier, or somebody did, but having one this wide with the router table at the end gives you quite a bit of support. And so That was an 8-foot length of plywood that went through pretty easy. So it is nice having the support there. So, all right, so looking at my cut list, and I think that I have everything now. 4 door bottoms. No, I don't have all my sides yet. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, Half Blind, how are you doing? All right. Half Blind, this is for you. You see my shop over here. So I got my SawStop, got my cabinets, I got an old chop saw, DeWalt planer on a flip top cart. This was my first project, I would say, as a woodworker. Build a flip top cart. The Half Blind, this is for you. Bandsaw. You can come over and use it anytime. How's everybody doing on this Sunday? All right, gotta make sure what pieces I am missing. So I seem to be short just a little bit. Two, three, four. Ooh. All right. I gotta lay these out because unless I cut something wrong on my cut list optimizer, I'm not having all the correct pieces. So these are the fronts and back. Okay. Two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 7. Maybe it's because I need to do one more rip on these. Oh, okay. Now I realize what I'm doing. All right.
Select from announcement. Show 5 on Amazon Alexa. Tap to decline.
So, Half Blind, how are you doing today? Maybe you got caught in an ad roll. Is it? All right. 10, 10. I think I did mess up on my cut list optimizer. I'm just trying to decide where. I guess what I can do is just place these out and build them up. All right, so that. Let's see. Apologize. I was trying to plan too much and okay. So then I have the front to that. That drawer box is going to sit. The bottom is going to be in a dado. So there. So that's one drawer. Same thing with another drawer. Okay. So that's two drawers. Oh, I think I know it. Yeah. All right. I think I know what's going on here. Because I don't. Right. Back front. Need two more sides for the 4-inch. All right, so these need to be cut down to length. All right, yes, that makes sense. All right. So these need to be cut down to length. So I'll set those over here. So that's one box, two boxes, thirds there. Set this over here for a minute. And then the fourth is a taller box. Those are pieces I need to cut down. All right. All right, we're good now. So this is my third tall box. So I have one tall box and 3 4-inches. All right. I'm up to speed. Getting out. There you are, half blind. Getting out to the shop today. It's a little bit cold. Got the heater on up here. I am working on. Let me position this around. I'm working on some drawer boxes for this cabinet here that I built. I built all these cabinets, and that's the final thing that I need to do is to get drawers in there. I've done the rest of the cabinets up here and over to the side. So just working on drawer boxes today. So you weren't in here, but I did a quick shop tour just for you because pointed out my stuff over here, but I had to show you. Bandsaw. You can come over, use it anytime, but there's your bandsaw, or my bandsaw. But feel free to come over, use it anytime. All right, so now I need to cut these down to length real quick. Going to use this as a template. My I think you might find something to complain about. I'm still missing some tools. So I got a lot of things I still need to buy. This was one of my most recent projects, Crosscut sled, with key thing about this is it has adjustable inserts. So if I put different blades in there, dado stack or something, or thin kerf blade as opposed to a full kerf, I can actually slide these inserts in and out so that I always have a zero clearance on there. Same with this back piece. This back piece is replaceable. So if I want to put a box joint jig or something in there, I could have a box joint jig insert that I put in there. So I just got done making this. So, all right, where my pieces go. Adjust my stops. Oh, guess I have to get the other T-track piece in there. Adjust my stop here so that I can replicate the two pieces that I need to cut. Adjust my blade, and I've never encountered this before, but my SawStop is being a little kind of a bitch today. It's not wanting to fire up and stay started. It has a hard time of staying started. Tries to get up there. The motor's kicking in, but I don't know if it's because it's cold. Not running anything else on this. This is pretty much a dedicated line. It is on the same line as some lights in here, but yeah, it's having a problem staying started today. So hopefully I can get a couple cuts in here. And man, gotta figure this out. It's not giving me any warning lights. All right. All right, that should have been the last drawer piece I needed. Problem is, I need to use my SawStop to cut one other thing, and that's the cut out the dados for all these drawer pieces so that the bottom fits in. So if I can keep it running long enough, I need to see why it's struggling much. I just have not seen this stall do this before. It's not too incredibly cold here. All right. So what I need to do next is cut the dados for the drawer bottoms and all of the sides. So that is measuring for half of my depth here. And make my mark. And that looks good. All right. Now I just need to get all my drawer pieces ready so I can start feeding this through. Not switching out to a dado stack right now. For one, for the SawStop, I do not have a dado brake cartridge yet. That is something that I need to get. Right, so drawer bottoms. Just getting all my cuts prepped so I can do this all at once. So Half Blind, what are you up to today? I'm not sure who all is in here, but hope everybody's having a good day today. I appreciate everybody that's stopping by and watching. It's helping me get to my goal of affiliate. So I think last two things I need to do is reach 50 followers. I think I'm at 29 right now. So I need to reach 50 followers and just get a few more average viewers, and then hopefully I reach affiliate. Hey, Wicked Walnut, thanks for the follow. So I may have figured out my my problem startup. That one started up quite a bit easier without any of the stuttering. But the last time I went to start it up and it was having problems, I smacked the start box, the switch box, and started right up. And so the next time I just did it, fired right up. So I'm wondering if I have a loose connection in my switch box or something. At first, I thought it might be due to the fact that, I don't know, electricity out here. I have a dust collector. It's on a whole other line, but I wasn't using my dust collector just in hopes of not using it would help out. Now things are starting to get a little bit dusty, so I may go back to using the dust collector here. So now I'm making drawer boxes, and what I'm working on is the dado for the bottom of the drawer bottom, and I'm just using regular curved blade, so I'm going to run it through a few times here. So that was my first pass through. So interesting, Boyd. That was what my last stream was about. A few days ago, I come out here, I go to turn on the saw, and it was giving me an activation saying that the brake cartridge was activated. I was like, yeah, it wasn't even turned on, you know. So I open it up and I look, and sure enough, I did have a brake cartridge activation. You know, the spring engaged, it was pushed up against the blade, but as you can tell, the blade did not go in here. If you look, there are a couple scratches here, but what those scratches are from was from me rotating the blade to see if it actually was pushed up against the blade. But yeah, it was a faulty brake activation. So I did reach out to SawStop and said, hey, I think you had a false activation here because saw wasn't in rotation. The machine was turned on, but it wasn't in rotation. I, of course, did not hear it activate either. Supposedly, from what I've heard, it's a noticeable sound that you hear. So they said that, send it in. So I'm going to have to send this in, and then they will look at it. I guess they can download the activation code or whatnot, and they'll see what it is. But as far as replacing the brake, it was pretty easy. There's just kind of one little bolt that holds it in there. There's a thing that you release and whatnot, but taking it out, putting it in is a matter of a couple minutes. Yep, now this brake is gone. And so I guess when you buy into SawStop, hey, it's great. I'm all about the safety features and whatnot. But in this case, it put me out $100, and you cannot turn on the saw without the brake cartridge. So I was down a couple of days until I went and sucked it up and bought a brake cartridge. I was hoping the SawStop would do something for me, but I don't think they could really do anything anyway, not that quick. So I did bite it and went out and bought a new brake cartridge, which I think all said and done after tax is probably right at $100. So yeah, hopefully, I guess best case scenario, they work with me. I've heard that they have great customer service, so I'm hoping that they send one out and I just have one on hand. But I'm mostly curious about why it was activated in the first place. Because I don't want to do that again. Have to pay another $100 or something. But hopefully they will get another one out so I have one on hand. So if it does happen again, I could reach out to them again. All right, so now I'm going to adjust my cut just a little bit to make a second pass at this dado and cut all these pieces again. Yeah, it is worth it. Yeah, I do need to have an extra one on hand, Luckily, I wasn't building anything for anybody, so it wasn't anything time sensitive. It's been I live in Ohio, weather's been crazy. We had 70-degree weather and now we're back to snow today, so kind of crazy. So, but it wasn't time sensitive, so. All right, I am going to cut my second pass on all these pieces again. Pro tip for myself, I'm making sure that my cut is all on the same side so I can just pass these through without looking. I'd hate to cut the wrong side. So everything looks good. I'm going to try to keep the mic on. For some reason, I was noticing that, and it may have came from the follow because I have monitor on, and thank you, Wicked Walnut, for following. I appreciate that. But maybe it was audio from that, but I turned off my mic just to make sure that I wasn't getting any feedback. But I'm going to try to keep the mic on for this, and hopefully the filters cut out some of the noise, but I'm going to try to use the dust collector this time, and it doesn't really take out the dust collector yet, so I have to fine tune the filter for that. So we'll first see if this starts up. I'll start up my dust collector first. Alexa, turn on dust collector. She listens. Wow, took a minute. Start up smooth this time. OBS seems to be cutting out most of the noise. Alexa, turn off dust collector. My Alexa's being very slow to respond today. So I have my dust collector set up on Alexa, kind of as a remote start. Cheap remote start. It works great. But yeah, for some reason it was slow to respond when I asked it to start up. All right, getting ready for third pass on all these pieces. Dados are looking good. So I am a new streamer, so if any of you have any questions or anything for me, please shout them out, or suggestions or tips or anything. I definitely love suggestions and tips. A little bit about me and my channel for anybody who's new here. I'm new to woodworking. Luckily, my wife was awesome and she let me claim the 3-car garage. And so what my channel is about is me building up my skills, trying new things, me building up my workshop, building all the cabinets back here, flip top cart, stuff like that, and building up my tools and stuff. So that's kind of what my channel is about. And then, you know, every few projects I will have my, I notice where the feedback's coming from. Oh, and thank you for following. I appreciate that quite a bit. So, thank you very much. So trying to get to affiliate, so all these follows help. And everybody's been super gracious in the community about giving me shout outs and stuff. So I've appreciated all of those. But what I was also saying is occasionally I will have my daughter on stream. I will be teaching her how to use tools and whatnot. We just got done building a 6-foot tall dollhouse. Those are on the VODs and whatnot. But yeah, so that's what part of this channel will be about too, is teaching my daughter how to do tools and woodworking and stuff. So she has fun with that. So what I'm working on today is working on drawer boxes for this cabinet down here. Putting 4 drawers in there. So just kind of continuing on with that. So let me just notice that let me move my camera a little bit. All right, so I'm going to I'm working on, I've got all the sides and stuff built. So right now I'm working on cutting the dado for the drawer bottom. So I do not have a dado break for my SawStop, so I'm just doing this the old-fashioned way and making multiple passes. So I'm on my third pass here, so then we'll get to assembly after that, pretty much. Make sure my drawer bottoms are all sized appropriately, but then we can start assembling some of this up. All right, so I'm gonna get back to finishing up these dados. So, Alexa, start dust collector. Hopefully this will be my next last pass for this dado. My drawer bottoms are going to be 1/2 inch thick. Alexa, turn off dust collector. Give me a minute here so I can catch up on chat. Hangover on claws. Hey, I've done hangover on claws before. I had a hangover yesterday, but I was drinking bourbon. Me and some friends were gaming and playing Phasmophobia. Man, it's kind of fun to play it middle of the night. It's a fun game. It was my first time playing it. Definitely turned out the lights. We were all having a blast. We were in the waiting room, so we're looking at the board, and a couple of us are new to it. But my buddy, he was streaming on Twitch, and we just backed down. We were waiting on somebody, so we were kind of looking around the room and stuff. We open up a closet or one of the lockers, and a body falls out. And we're all kind of laughing about that, whatnot. But there's this door that's kind of just barely ajar. And if you go and you look down at the bottom of it, you try to open it up, a sound plays and scares the crap out of you. Oh man, it scared the hell out of my buddy, and he was on stream, and he jumped back, screamed, threw his headset off or most of the way off. I think he woke up everybody in his house, but it's a fun game. All right, so now I'm getting close to the end of my dados. I need to sneak up on the actual width, so I'm going to measure that out and see if I can get it on this pass or not. I think I can. Let me mark this. Let me put my board back correctly so that all my cut pieces are all lined up. Hey, Boyd, thank you for dropping in and stuff. Thank everybody for dropping in today and stuff. But thank you for dropping in. You're streaming later. I'll try to catch all of you. I'm going to stream for a little bit more today, but then I think I'm going to view for the rest of the day. Yeah, I should be able to sneak up on this last cut. So I should be able to finish my data on this one. So Alexa, turn on dust collector. So I do have, on this last cut, looks like I have just a little bit of sliver left in there, so I will have to take a chisel and just clean up the inside of that dado. Shouldn't be a problem. Echo, turn off dust collector. Alexa, turn off dust collector. All right, so does look like I have just a little bit cleanup to do with chisel on here just to clean things up, but not bad at all. So I'm going to do that real quick. Yeah, so I have two things. So I have these are the Amazon glasses. Trying not to say the name. These are actually set to EHCO as the trigger word, but every now and then it's weird. It tells me I have to unlock my phone. It hears me, just tells me I need to unlock my phone. But I have a dot, an Amazon dot over here, and it usually hears me. I just have to speak up just a little bit louder, but for the most part, hears me pretty well. And you know, for $10 is I think what I paid for the Switch and stuff. I mean, works great. Much cheaper than a remote switch. Yeah, they are. So I really like these glasses. You know, so they I like them better than the Alexa devices. Just gonna be listening now a bit. You can do all the same things. You can talk to it, and it feeds audio in through your ear. There's no video at all. It's just all audio cues, but your ears are completely open, and man, the sound experience is great. But what's really nice is it connects to your phone, and so all of your your notification messages that pop up on your phone and whatnot, you can set them. You can set them by application or whatnot. You can say ignore these notifications, but listen to these. But you'll hear it in your ears. You know, you could hear something like Twitch so and so streaming or something. If you swipe on the side, you can get some more information on that. So the glasses are pretty cool. I'm actually one of my side projects. My day job is in software engineering, but I do write some Alexa apps and whatnot. And so I basically got these glasses for free. I've got 2 pairs of them, so I like them. Yeah, a lot like the Jawbone or the what's the Bose? I think the Bose are very similar. So yep, just voice command. So. But it is nice when I'm out here in the shop and I do have stuff running. Normally, I can tell my glasses to turn off the dust collector, and it usually hears me. Just not the case today. It says I have to open up my phone. And this isn't going to work. My narrowest chisel is just slightly too wide. This is where I wish I had a router plane. Let's see what I can do here. Guess if anything, I didn't just send it through the table saw one more time to clean off that small sliver. Or I can just take a pocket knife and clean it off because it's not that big of a sliver left in there. This one I'm gonna have to send through again. Most of these look pretty good. Also, in hindsight, I should have at least, instead of not switching to a dado, I should at least switch my blade to a flat top bevel so that I had a nice flush cut instead of the dog ears, but it'll be okay. These are just shop drawers, so, and I definitely got enough of a dado in there that it's fine. Put this one over the side. I need to definitely run that one through again. All right. So I think I got most of all my drawer pieces cut. I just need to check to see if the drawer bottoms are cut to their final size. I think I left them just a little bit long. Hey, Bad Dad, how are you doing? Welcome. So I think it was you that we were chatting in somebody else's stream. You had referred to the SawStop as an aircraft carrier. Kind of came in helpful today. I had an 8-foot piece of sheet good that I needed to cut. I was going to make some crosscuts on it using the crosscut sled. I have 48 inch, but it was too wide for the crosscut, so I just put it up here, but that extra length on the SawStop with the router table attached gave me enough support that I was able to slide this 8-foot sheet in sideways. So that is where I like having that extra table size there. Definitely helps. Yeah, so that's the way. So yeah, it is on the left. So I've got the full 52 inches plus the router table. Yeah, I was thinking about putting it in the extra, back over here. My big deal is I'm trying to figure out the layout of my shop and whatnot. I'm trying to get the final placement for all my tools because I've got dust collection, but I've just got a flexible hose right now. But I do want to run some actual plumbing and whatnot. But I'm trying to get an idea of all my tools and where they're going to live and everything. I have a bandsaw back behind here, a Laguna 14BX, but trying to get the placement. But man, this does stick out quite a bit of ways in here. I thought about moving the router table over there, but then I would have to, of course, have a way to get over there in workspace. So it may stay here. Yeah, that sliding table, man, that's nice. I may upgrade to that. Yeah, so that's where yours is just a little bit bigger than mine. Man, I can't even imagine that. But yeah, let me move it out here. So my shop's a bit messy. So yeah, I got outfeed table here. Probably gonna get rid of this because I'm gonna go with an actual outfeed table and some drawers and stuff in. That's gonna probably be a future project. But yeah, I got the router table and downdraft box and stuff in there. Really? I don't know. It does take up quite a bit of spot or quite a bit of space and whatnot. But so mine was I didn't choose to buy it. I mean, it came with it because I did buy this secondhand. Somebody had it. Seems to have only had it for like a year or so because the motor and stuff. It said it was manufactured in 2020 or 2021. I can't remember. But he was selling the whole setup and whatnot. And so I was comparing this against like a Harvey or Laguna Fusion or whatnot. But all said and done, this was local. I didn't have to pay any shipping or anything, whereas the Harvey was going to cost like $500 in shipping alone. Laguna, I could have picked up locally, bought it, but yeah, some deflection on the back fence, and I just figured that I was just going to do it. Might as well spend a little bit extra money and get the SawStop. I do. It's nice, and the other thing is, man, SawStop. I think once I got it and reassembled it and stuff, fine tuning it took about a week. But man, I really like how all the ways that you can fine tune it, especially setting the blade parallel and everything. It's nice. It really has some nice adjustments and stuff. So I definitely think the accuracy and stuff is definitely there. All right. So Bad Dad, just to let you know what I'm working on today. I'm just working on drawer boxes. So I've built, you can see here in the back, and let me move the camera a bit around. Built all my cabinets back here and stuff, and the shop cabinet here just needing to get some drawers in it. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. just practicing streaming, kind of low key, pretty easy. Put all my pieces that I had to cut into cut list optimizer, and that's what I've been doing is just getting those cut down and got the dados cut. So now I'm just going to check my drawer bottoms for their final size, and then we'll see if I can start dry assembling these. It's a 3-car garage separated by a pillar over here. So I've definitely got, I'm using 2.5 cars of it. I will probably, the remainder, I've got a motorcycle, a riding lawnmower, and just, house junk stored over there. But I may, move some of that stuff, and maybe I was thinking about making an area for painting or whatnot over there. Still got to figure that out, but yeah, just trying to get the layout just where I want the tools and everything. So so that dado is nice and good, firm, but not too tight. So there we go. So now I'm gonna move my big drawer over there. What I'm doing now is checking the size for my drawer bottoms, making sure that they are the correct final dimensions. They do seem to be depth-wise accurate. All right. So here's where it gets tricky. Should probably do this with just one. Looks like let me make sure these are. Yeah. Looks like I do have to trim them down on the width. Let's see here. Thought I did cut them a little bit long or a little bit wide. I couldn't remember. Looks like I cut them a little bit long, which is correct. So now let me cut those bottoms down to size and then start putting them together. Yeah, same. I should have cut it with a dado, or whatnot, but I didn't. Yeah, and I didn't use my dado stack either. I don't have a brake cartridge for the dado stack, so I just used regular kerf blade. Ran over a few times, so I think in hindsight it would have been better if I used the router. Oh, Bad Dad, since you're here, I was talking about this on stream. A couple other people, but yeah, I came into my shop the other day. Saw would not start up. My brake cartridge had activated. It wasn't even running. Saw wasn't even running or spinning or anything. I didn't hear it activate. I don't know when it activated, but it definitely did activate. But you can tell, blade didn't go into the cartridge at all. You can see a couple scratches, but what those are from was, I turned on the blade or turned on the saw. When it turned on, I looked at the warning light and it said cartridge activated. So I looked down there. Sure enough, it looked like the brake was pushed up against the blade, but I was checking it. I just rotated the blade, but that's the only reason why I got that. But yeah, it seems to be a faulty activation. I did reach out to SawStop. They said send it in. They're gonna have to look at the activation code. I guess you send them in, they can tell from this. They plug it in and they can get the activation code, see why it activated. Which, yeah, I definitely want to make sure why it activated. But unfortunately, I did not have a backup cartridge on hand, so I did have to go out and buy one and put in, because even in bypass mode, you can't run it without a cartridge. So yeah, yeah. I bought a cartridge now. I don't have a backup on hand, but hopefully SawStop, they determine it was a false activation. They send me out a backup cartridge. I've heard that their customer service was pretty good, so we'll see. All right. So I need to take off just a little bit here. And it's like 1/4 of an inch. I need to take off 1/4 of an inch off these bottoms real quick, and then everything should be at their final size. I'm going to, is this narrow enough to put on the crosscut sled? Yeah. I'm going to use the crosscut sled for this. All right. Guess I could get all my bottoms over here ready. Alexa, turn on dust collector. Alexa, turn off dust collector. All right. Now to dry fit these again. Just lower the blade all the way down. Use this table since it's kind of set up in camera view. All right. And dry fit looks, get this last piece on. Dry fit looks good. So I've got 3 that will be this size. And I will go in. I may have to adjust the width of that down just a hair too. It looks like I'm maybe an 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, maybe an 1/8 of an inch too wide. But so I got yeah, I guess it's hard to see on the stream. But yeah, I got my box done. I have to narrow the bottom just a little bit, by about 1/8 of an inch. But then what I'm going to do is I will come in here and I will glue this up, and I'm going to pocket hole the backs and the fronts on. They'll be covered up so you won't see them, but I will pocket hole those for some added strength and whatnot. But I will have 3 of these drawers, and then I will have one that's about 12 inches tall. So I think that I am going to go ahead and stop streaming for now because I do want to stream probably tomorrow. So I will probably stream the assembly of these, the pocket holes, and get them all glued up and whatnot. So I'm going to see who is online that I could raid to. So give me a minute here. Where'd my browser go? Bear with me. This is one of the downfalls that I have. I'm new to rating and whatnot, so I need to find this person. So it's all in chat. Let me get this copied. Bear with me for a second. I'm having stream problems. I can't get back to my OBS. All right. I have a second computer here, so let me look at this. Texas Hula. I am not familiar with Texas Hula, but we will raid over there. Hey, everybody. Well, I have to get over to my OBS. Why is it not letting me? All right, there we go. Hey, I appreciate everybody who's stopped by, who's chatted, who's helping me get to affiliate. Okay, I knew there was a raid command, so I will do that. So thank you for that help, Owen. But thank you guys all for helping me out here. I appreciate it. So now let's try this raid. And for some reason, I don't know, my OBS is really messed up right now. Why does it not let me type in chat? There we go. Yeah, for some reason my OBS is not letting me type in chat, so let me switch over to my browser and do it. I apologize for this. I am having difficulties. All right. Hopefully I got this now. All right, looks like it's going. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Did it make it over? All right, so okay, there we go.